Congressman, we welcome you to the big show.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, now, I understand there's some oil down in Texas, and a lot of folks in your delegation have not been too happy about Lisa Jackson's tenure at the EPA. Do you welcome Ms. McCarthy's nomination as a change in direction for the administration?
Oh, I would expect no change. As a matter of fact, what I would expect is a greater urgency to pursue this kind of extreme anti-fossil fuel agenda, which is also going to continue to hurt the economy, by the way. When you add the effects of the health care bill and the anti-energy approach of this administration, it hurts job creation, which you think they would want to support.
Now, what we can expect from Ms. McCarthy is an effort. Basically, the way it's been to this point is that the EPA has pushed hard, but ended up locked in court battles with energy companies, with utilities, and others on the implementation of these rules, which the companies say would essentially make coal impossible in the United States as an energy source and increase energy prices. To your point, what we are expecting from Ms. McCarthy is somebody who is going to work hard on implementation. There is talk in Congress about legislation, and we've seen some Democratic support for this, legislation to rein in the EPA. Do you think that's plausible?
I think we'll push it, but whether it gets enacted into law with President Obama in the White House, I'm somewhat doubtful. So what our fallback position should be, and it has been actually the last 2 years, is to restrict the money that they have in order to do mischief. And so one of the benefits to the sequestration and the restrictions on budget is that EPA and some of these other organizations have less money to go pursue this regulatory agenda. And you mentioned the lawsuits. That's the other key part of this. So restrict their money, pursue the lawsuits as people are interested in doing, and I think that at least reduces the amount of damage that they can do to the economy.
Okay, speaking of money, the House leadership is going to be presenting this week a plan to memorialize, to preserve sequestration levels of funding in a continuing resolution to operate the government when the current one expires on the 27th of March. What's your take on this? Do you think that something that could both get a majority of the Republican conference but also pass the Senate is going to be produced?
Yeah, I hope so, and I'm somewhat optimistic about it. What this bill will do, that we'll vote on later this week, is to continue the lower sequestration level spending for the discretionary budget. That's defense and non-defense. Nothing touches entitlements in all this discussion. But what it also does is it has a regular appropriation bill at the lower levels for defense and for veterans. What that means is that the Pentagon has more flexibility to move money around even though the total dollars are at a lower level. It is very important, I think, that we give the Pentagon this extra flexibility within the guidelines that Congress sets. So they can't just do whatever they want. It's within these guidelines. But I think it's an important step. It's going to pass the House this week. Hopefully the Senate will take it and get it done so we can move on to the debt limit and the budget and the other issues.
If you remember the Red River Valley, you would know him already, but if you don't, now you do. Mac Thornberry, Congressman, we thank you very much.
You bet.